Sexuality is immoral. I have asked you that question. It's been asked already. Now what you're doing is
I don't care about the questions. I want to get substance-wise. I want to get substance-wise. I don't care about rhetoric.
I'll give you an argument that's moral. It's a very simple argument.
For the morality of being a faggot? What is premise one?
Premise one of the argument. There is no sound argument in favor of the proposition that being homosexual is immoral. Premise two of the argument. If there is no sound argument in favor of the proposition that homosexuality is immoral, then it's the case that it is not immoral. We can talk about begging the question in just a moment here. So what do you think begging the question is? Define begging the question for me.
Yeah, so when you have your conclusion, your premises.
Okay, which of those premises can contain the conclusion?
So what is the first sentence? So the first sentence that you said, was it there was no sound argument as to why being a faggot is immoral?
Sorry, it doesn't sound like an answer to my question. Was it premise 1 or
Yes, it does, you genius, because I literally just told you. Did you not say at the beginning, literally the first sentence, was it not to say that there was no sound argument that shows that premise 1 is immoral? And I'm asking you for confirmation, so I'm answering and I'm also asking for confirmation so that I'm sure that I'm not strawmanning you. You're a genius, so yes, I did answer.
You are obviously strawmanning.
If you answer, can you confirm that what you said, yes or no?
Premise 1 is that there is no sound argument in favor of the proposition.
Okay, so the first premise already begs the question.
Is that the conclusion?
You're stuck. The first premise already begs the question.
I don't know why you think that if you just loud mic and spam, that that's going to get you out of this. I can give you a justification for that, but you want to go ahead and narrow in on the claim you made, which is that it's begging the question.
Can I give the justification?
The claim you made was begging the question because it's identical to the conclusion.
Can I give the justification? Yes or no? Can I give the justification on why it's begging the question? Yes or no?
To the conclusion.
Okay, so there's not going to be an answer to my question. I'm going to ask you one more time. Can I please give the justification as to why yes or no?
You continually dodged every single question I asked you.
Okay, so you keep dodging on my questions here. You demanded a free to answer your question. You've just been here for critical. This is like the fifth time or like the sixth time.
Just to try to mic attack indefinitely, and that's going to be the way that you get away with doing arguments like this or dog shit when you stumble over everything. Your idea of begging the question is that it has to do with the conclusion. Obviously, there is no sound argument in favor of something.
Is going to be defined as an argument that has a conclusion that is true, which follows from premises, and the premises are all that is true. Which means that the conclusion of literally argument is literally to say that, for example, being faggot is no argument. Since premise 1 literally said that there was
nothing is true,
such as obviously means that it's possible for somebody to be faggot to be moral. Right, so that means you're already admitting this in the first premise that to be faggot is not merely to be moral. However, supposedly that has to be the conclusion of your argumentation, because I asked you for the argument listen, I asked you for the argument as to why was a faggot, for example, that's not so you should just include it, the conclusion of the first premise. You just sucks. You just keep the question from the Bible. This is going to be public execution, executing publicly executing begging the question likely this is going to get uploaded.
You're having a mental episode.
Evil bastard that you are, overrated piece of garbage.
Nobody who can help you right now.
You're a faggot. You just got destroyed badly. This is so embarrassing for you. Organization sucks. You are a low tier. I don't know why people are putting you on like tier 1 or tier 2 when you're literally tier 3. Sinthe, get past tier 3. You suck. You suck. Get past tier 3. You're delusional. Now get the fuck out of here. Fucking bitch.
Okay, it's your little piece. Just chill.
I just get the fuck out.
How do we get moderator perms in here?
You just got this shit. You just got this shit. You suck.
Bro, I couldn't even hear most of the substance because it was just fucking like over talking.
I was over. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the point, bro. You can't be doing this shit, bro. We gotta.
Because I asked him multiple times, can I please give the justification as to what the first one expects the question? He did not allow me to, so I said, okay, let me just ignore you and give the justification.
This nigga Sinthe barely be online. Let's just get some moderation, bro, because this debate is probably never gonna happen again.
Yeah, because the bitch is so egotistical to admit that he's inferior to me because he sucks. Because he's a faggot.
Your dog shit broke down.
Oh no, you got offended because somebody was straight, was heterosexual, calling you a faggot? Because you're so excited that you follow second, but you don't follow the truth. Because you don't want to follow the truth.
You're not even straight. You're allowed to call me a faggot.
Which is why you dress the way that you dress. Which is why the difference is that you are modern. Oh, that makes sense. Bro, that makes sense, man. that makes sense, man. Such a
Who do you think you're talking to? You think I'm gonna sit a faggot?
The moment that you talk to me, you're literally making me hurt as well. So please stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. You're filthy garbage. Go to repent of your sin. Go repent of your sin. In the name of Jesus Christ, I say go repent of your sin. You're a faggot. Stop defending your faggoty. Stop defending your faggoty. Become straight. Become heterosexual. You're a human being with male chromosomes. You are a male, not a female. Ain't nobody gonna call you she or her. You're a he, him. Unless you want to call yourself a she. You're just gonna rant and don't even have your mentality at this point. So now, can you please stop? Because you suck. Thank you.
You who do you want to have moderate? Because you're clearly too spastic to do it on your own.
Yeah, you're too spastic that you literally can be back in the question the first premise of the argumentation that you're supposed to give yourself.
Bro.
Alright, can I moderate? Can I moderate?
You're ass, bro. You're terrible.
Oh, I'm ass, but you just go to the meeting for the button.
You want to have moderate?
Yourself.
Oh, let's just slow the fuck down.
Oh my god, you guys retarded.
Wait, Santa, my baby girl, I love you so much, Santa.
Yeah, yourself.
You sound like you're breathing too hard.
Yeah, you sound like a faggot, but
Are you upset?
also
Are you upset
There's a
online?
difference. I can sound like whatever you want, but it's fine. That still doesn't mean that I'm equal to that.
You ran off and you
You sound like a faggot, and it is actually considered identical to the faggot, so that is fine. So that is fine.
Mr. Debunker, are you upset online?
I'm not gonna. You suck.
Alright, bro.
It's the internet. Nobody here can hurt you. You can say whatever you want. Nobody can do anything about it. You should never be mad online.
Oh, wait, what about? Okay, never.
Who do you want to have moderate?
What? Yeah, turn off your loud mic or whatever. Do that.
I got you. We'll both turn our loud mics off. Deal?
Yeah, you go first. Don't you believe that you're a lady? Lady, go first. So go ahead.
Talking first.
Ladies, go first. So please go ahead and do that. Since you believe yourself to be a lady, go ahead
That
and do
was the
that.
corniest shit I've ever heard in my life. I got you though.
Go ahead. Stop wasting your time. You son of Satan of an ass around your time. Don't you believe that you're a lady? Ladies, go first. I'm just a young man.
So I'll go ahead. What are you
Ladies, go
talking
first.
for?
Turn off your shitty ass low microphone, which is garbage microphone that you bought so much Chinese for. Turn it off first because ladies go first and you believe yourself to be a lady. Stop wasting my time.
You're having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, mental breakdown of me literally just showing the
Alright, I got you, bro. Here, look. He's dog shit.
That was fun. That was funny right there, bro.
Holy.
Hey, Mr. Debater, or Debunker, if you're still there, can you please
I'm sorry,
Turn the
but
mic down. Turn the mic down. He turned his stuff down.
turn on Rich?
Axility, your mic.
Turn it down now. Turn it down now.
Bro, you Axility, you're so annoying.
I'm sorry.
You can turn the mic down now. It's cool.
Alright, bro.
Alright.
Some peace, man. Some peace and quiet.
Damn.
Peace, bro.
Y'all just sound gay ass motherfuckers. All you guys. I'm gonna
sorry.
fuck all you guys. Fuck all you
Everybody here gay. We all get it.
What are you We're all gay here, bro. We're just all
Bro,
gay.
is the thing is actually fact,
Right.
bro? I'm
raping you.
I apologize, guys.
I'm mid-rape right now. What's with that?
Since it's my Maholaga debater, bro. Come on.
why?
So who's gonna be the Tard Wrangler for Mr. Debunker? Who wants to moderate?
Let me moderate, bro.
Turn
You're
on
delusional. If you don't misbehave, we don't need any type of moderation.
Oh,
Look, brother, you're gonna be the one spazzing out and trying to talk over the entire time. So I just want a
does that come
moderator
from the same
so that you
person
have
that
somebody who can make you hear my arguments like you're doing right now. You're already interrupting. You're already. It's been like less than 30 seconds. Of mic being low and you're interrupting.
That's just gonna be hypocrisy.
You have a problem.
You have an off
You have a
button.
problem.
This is incredible.
So that's not gonna be.
Y'all
an
might need.
Look, you need to lock in,
I'm not
retard.
gonna hold.
What?
You need to lock in, retard. Lock in.
You're delusional.
You know.
Y'all might need talking stick. I ain't gonna hold.
Oh my, look how bro, turn that
Look,
shit off. Stop.
The talking stick shit is
Stop.
genuinely too gay for me. I just need somebody who can like police interruptions on both of our behalf.
Gay for you?
No, don't be
You're
dumb.
delusional, but you know
Yes.
you get destroyed. That's
Yes.
Dude,
That's why I turned you down.
Fucking gay.
That's why I turned you down, Tron.
Oh, you turned me
You're
down?
delusional.
Oh no, that was another person. I thought it was Tron.
Oh no, that is too flocky.
You know what?
Oh, Too Flocky. That's why I turned you down, Too Flocky.
Good boy.
Okay, so with point being,
gay,
who can
so-
moderate for the?
Like,
You're gay.
I can moderate.
So who can
when you
moderate?
guys are talking over each other, I'll just cut in and be like, yo.
Fuck up.
Got you. So the
All of
what
your
Mr. Debunker probably wants to do is just reset the entire the fucking entire dialogue tree is going on or something. If he wants to do that, I'm fine with it. Or alternatively, I do want my question answered. Those are the options there. It's up to him.
No, you gotta choose a topic. What topic you
Yeah,
want?
well, about homosexuality is immoral. That was a topic we already agreed on.
Okay.
Did we, yes or no? Do we already agree on that topic?
So since you said You wanna do that?
He's not gonna answer that question either. Okay.
What do you mean? I'm just trying to answer. I'm literally trying to tell you. If you
Is it
wanna
yes or
do
no?
that, okay, fine, let's do it. But I'm still gonna ask
The question
you.
was, do we already agree on that? But fine, whatever.
Chill. I'm still gonna ask you. Can you give the argument as to why it is moral?
Yes, I can. But if you're arguing
Okay,
something's
give it.
immoral, the onus is on you to justify that.
Okay, I'll start by saying it's shifting of the burden of proof fallacy. You're making the positive claim that it
Are
is
you
moral.
declaring
So,
this?
by
just be clear.
priority,
Wait.
you have the burden, not me. It was on the negative.
No,
So who-
Give you P1. Okay.
Yeah. Who is it that has the burden of proof when they're calling something immoral?
When you make the positive claim, which is to say that it's moral, so you got
To say,
priority.
okay, what is a positive claim in your eyes?
So just to make the claim that something exists.
Okay, so if you're saying that something's immoral, that means you're saying it exists, right?
No, No, you don't even know what this means. No, when you say that something is immoral, you're saying that that something lacks morality. So you're not saying that that thing exists. It's not the claim in question.
Are
because
rocks
when you
immoral?
make the claim, hold on, chill. When you make the claim something is immoral and something is moral, in both cases you're treating it as a something, which means something that exists, which means both parties are agreeing at least on the existence of that specific subject. So that's not where the burden is placed. The burden is placed on the predication of what that thing is, right? So if I make the claim that something is immoral, I'm saying it lacks morality, which is the absence of morality. While on the other hand, you're making the claim that it is moral, which means it possesses the property of morality, or being moral. Or not being
That's a
contrary to
crazy
moral.
claim.
So the burden is on you.
Oh, you're not done yet. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. So the burden
Okay.
is on you.
So are superfluous things lacking in morality?
What?
Are superfluous actions lacking in morality?
What do you mean superfluous action?
Actions which you're not
something that is
obligated to do.
Like for example, if I that was superfluous.
Yes, that was superfluous, right? Was it lacking in morality?
It depends because some things are superfluous and yet are evil. Some other things are superfluous yet they don't commit evil.
Was that one an example that was lacking in morality?
if you're referring to me doing then I will say it's not evil.
I didn't ask you if it was evil. I said, does it lack any morality?
Check going, mix
But
check on.
it's either good or evil. I don't understand.
It's neither good nor evil. It's lacking in morality.
Oh my god. Okay, so no, your view is cooked. So no, something is either moral or immoral. There's no middle ground. I know you're gonna appeal to immorality.
Okay, but you just said it was neither.
Yes, yeah, that's impossible. Immorality is not a thing.
So the thing that you claimed was impossible?
No, because that begs the question. Because you just presuppose that it is possible for it to be amoral, and so because of that you say, that, oh no, so are you saying that it's now impossible because it's immoral?
Okay,
That just begs
you
the
said
question.
things are either moral or immoral and there's no middle ground, right?
Exactly.
Okay, was that thing you did, was it moral or immoral?
That's the point. There's no such thing as amoral. It's only moral, so it's moral.
Okay, so the thing you just did when you went, that's moral?
Yes.
Okay, so if somebody were to pick up a rock and point at the rock and they said, this rock is moral, you think that would be true or false?
What do you mean? That depends what they mean. What is the preposition?
So they're using it like you use it. They're using, like you picked up a rock, you pointed at it and you said,
No,
this is a
this
moral
is
rock.
analogous.
Are you
Actually,
correct or
you're begging the
incorrect?
question again.
That's
Because
not
you
what begging the
presuppose.
question is.
Yeah, so let me tell you, you're begging the question again because you presuppose that.
I don't care if you think I'm begging
my
a question, I'm asking a
I'm
question.
trying to, because you're presupposing that my example, like the one that I did, you know, like the thing that I said earlier, shouldn't have any type of morality, should be defined as amoral, and so then you just give an example of something that you personally believe it is amoral, and so then when you ask me the question, you try to make the comparison. So that's just you presupposing that it was immoral in the first place when I told you, no, I disagree with the existence of immorality.
Okay, that was a really long-winded way to dodge my question. The question is very simple.
No, really, it just means that your question
is
was
it the
flowed,
case?
so I don't need to ask.
Okay, you want to keep talking over?
flowed.
You want to keep talking over because you're afraid of what I'm going to say next? So the question is very simple. Rocks. Do rocks have morality?
No, rocks don't have morality.
Okay, rocks are lacking in morality,
agents.
agreed?
Yeah, they're not moral agents.
Are rocks immoral?
What?
Are rocks immoral?
No, rocks are moral.
Rocks lack morality and they're not immoral?
Yeah, so that's equivocation fallacy.
Oh, cool. So you lost. Thanks for you.
No, that's
moving on, I
equivocation
guess.
fallacy.
There's no equivocation. I asked you.
I'm gonna wait for you
I
to
asked
address
you,
the fact that you just
stupid.
committed equivocation fallacy again.
There's no equivocation there. I
Yes,
asked
there
you.
is. Can I explain you why?
You can't explain to me why, but you can
Oh
try.
yeah, that's a repetition of you denying, but that's not what I said. I said, can I now give you the justification?
I give you permission to give me justification.
Okay, thank you for giving me permission to give the justification. Yes, you committed begging the question. No, I'm sorry, not begging the question. You committed equivocation. Yeah, you committed equivocation because I literally said at the beginning, I don't believe in immorality. I only believe in morality and immorality. So if something is there and it's like and they're not doing anything, then it's moral. Like it's okay. We can do that. It's morally fine. Then you ask me, okay, is a rock moral? And I said, no, it's not a moral agent. And notice how to say that the existence of a rock is a moral existence, as in it is permitted by morality, is not the same as making the affirmation that the rock is a moral agent. So you made the conflation on that.
I asked you, do rocks have morality? And you said no.
Yes, and I asked you, what do you mean with that? Are they moral agents?
You said no.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna say this one more time because you're not.
And then I asked you, are rocks lacking in morality?
Moral agents?
Yes.
Because if you mean to say they're moral agents, I said no, they're not moral agents. But just because you're not a moral agent, it doesn't mean that your very concept is an immoral concept.
Terrible.
So rocks are moral in that sense. So yes, you did commit equivocation fallacy.
Okay, so equivocation is when you take one word and use it in different contexts and different locations.
Not necessarily one word. It can also be in a sentence or in terminology or whatever.
So those would be collections of words. So you can use multiple words and do equivocation with more than one word, but you still, equivocation requires at least a word to be used different ways in different contexts, right?
Yes. I already told you how you use it.
What was the word that I used in different ways?
So basically the sentence is when you ask me the question, are rocks moral? So it's basically rocks being moral. So it's like the very notion of rocks possessing morality. When you say rock possessing morality, I ask you, you mean as in moral agents? Then no, I don't believe that rocks are moral agents. So they don't possess morality in that sense. But then if you ask me, are they moral or rocks moral in the sense that it's the existence itself? Not whether or not they have agency.
So when I ask that question...
Hold on. Is the existence itself of rocks morally permissible? Yes. It's moral.
So, I didn't ask is it morally permissible for rocks to exist. Your definition of immoral is lacking in morality was your definition. You even said things cannot be morally
amoral.
They cannot be amoral. They have to be either immoral or moral. Yes. These are all claims that you've made. And so,
because we're talking about I then asked you, not on the agency.
Regarding rocks, is it the case that rocks lack morality? And when you heard the term morality there, did you interpret a different definition for morality than when you gave the definition you were using for morality?
Sorry, say that again.
This guy's retarded. When you heard me say morality in that sentence, did you interpret that with a different definition than you were using earlier?
No.
Okay, so do rocks have morality would mean do rocks.
So, dude, you're not checking.
Are rocks not lacking in morals?
Let me clarify for you. You have confusion. Let me clarify. The issue is not on the word morality, because I think, hopefully, we were using the same sense of morality.
Why are you dodging my question?
No, I'm not dodging. No, hold on. I'm not dodging. I'm showing you why your question is wrong. Hold on. If I ask you, hold on. Let me give you an example real quick. I'm not derailing a promise.
No, tell me what the question was.
If somebody comes and says, do your parents know that you are a king? Regardless of the answer that you give, no matter what, you're going to accept the presupposition. That's called a loaded question. What I'm arguing about...
Moderator, make this fucking
Tron, can you moderate because it's not letting me speak. It's not allowing me to speak.
Who is willing to formally engage with me on
transgender? So, as I was trying to say, this is a case of loaded question. So when you say that I'm dodging it, not really, I'm showing you why it is flawed in nature, and a question that is flawed in nature need not to be addressed nor answered. And I was giving the justification for this. The reason why it is flawed is because it's not about morality, it's not about the terminology moral, but it's about the property of rocks being moral. What do you mean when you say rocks are moral or immoral? That was the actual question.
Now, what was the...
So you're not
you answered my question directly with a yes or a no the first time I asked it. The question was, are rocks lacking in morality? What was your yes or no answer to that question?
Then my answer was yes. If you mean to say the existence itself... Okay, hold on.
I didn't give you any definition.
Here's the conflation. If you mean to say the existence itself, like by notion, by the concept, it's the concept itself of a rock. Immoral or moral, I say moral. There's no contradiction on my part, it's just you making a conflation.
Rocks are moral?
I just said yes on the existence, yes, oh my goodness.
And rocks are,
like so premise one... people argue over a sandwich in a dumpster.
It really is.
You're delusional, Sinthe, bro. You know that you're also delusional.
So I'm the stronger homeless person with the better fentanyl. So, Mr. Debunker, you say it's an equivocation fallacy. That's what you're engaging in. You're just trying to claim that I'm doing it. You use different definitions, but I want to make sure this is clear.
No, I did not use different definitions. I don't know why you're trying to talk over constantly. No. You're not.
You have to stop. You have to take a deep breath in and out while I respond to your long-winded ramble. So listen to what I'm telling you. You've said that it's the case that rocks are moral. You've also said that it's the case that rocks are lacking in morality. Agreed?
Right.
Okay. When you use the word moral there, we're using it in a different sense than you defined initially.
No, it's the same identical sense. I already said this multiple times.
And your initial sense was that for something to be not moral, it must be lacking in morality, right?
Right.
Okay. And rocks are lacking in morality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that rocks are not moral, right? And you said rocks are moral, right? And you use that in the same sense that you defined initially, right?
Yes.
So rocks are not moral and rocks are moral, right?
Right.
You contradicted yourself. You're a retard.
No, not really, because matter of fact, you just committed an argument by repetition
No, I'm done with you.
Hold on. Let me destroy.
I don't care what you have to say.
Moderation.
As the moderator,
Where's moderation?
I demand
Where's moderation?
the closing statements.
Where's
This guy's
moderation?
retarded. He's trash.
Okay, I'm going to summarize the
Where's
argument.
moderation So now let me destroy, guys. You heard him. He asked me a series of questions, and then he said a yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And then he said, so you're saying that rocks are moral and rocks are immoral.
So, okay.
That's what he said.
Okay, so he's saying, given what you said, that would be like a direct P and not P.
Okay, sure. Now, let me destroy his argument for the second time. First of all, you just committed the fallacy argument by repetition fallacy, because rather than addressing my objection, you just went on repetition because you repeated yourself about me just being contradictory. It's just you not tracking the meaning. Second thing, by definition, a contradiction is simultaneous affirmation and negation of a given subject in the same manner and in the same respect, which means as long as we give context and we make a difference or a distinction between the two, both affirmation and negation can be simultaneously affirmed. The only problem is whenever they are in the same manner, in the same respect. Now, Sinthe, you're not able to track because I told you multiple times that a rock or they are basically moral, as in they have existence. So, because existence is a goodness, at least this is true according to my philosophy, like Thomism, because existence is a type of goodness, it means that if it is the case that rocks exist, then it means that rocks have an inherent value, which is going to be a moral value. Period. There's not going to be any type of room for immorality. Now, when it comes to your question, which by the way you conceded, we're going to put the recording, when I asked you, do you mean to say about moral agency, when you were asking the question about the rocks, you said, oh yes, I'm talking about moral agency. In moral agency, which by the way is distinguished, which means it's a different manner, a different respect, a different modality, yes, rocks they don't have any morality in that sense, because like they are agents, they don't have the agency, they don't possibly have the agency, the capability to do morality. So because there is a difference in respect or the manner, there's not going to be a direct P, not P.
Retard jibber
So now I'm going to wait for you to give possibly a refutation to that. Go ahead.
I do. I actually have a totally valid argument for
tedious.
premises that you agree to. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, premise 1 is that rocks are moral. Premise 2
Yeah, what
is
does it
that
mean?
rocks are
Hold on,
not
let me
moral.
ask you.
The way
What
you
does
meant it.
P1 mean? What does P1 mean?
Let's take it to the way that you meant it when you said that they're being used the same way.
Okay, so can we substitute it? So can we substitute the language with the way that I meant to see whether or not we actually incur in a contradiction? Let's do that.
So you've already done that.
I'm gonna...
Give me your definition.
I'm gonna type it out. I'm gonna type it out. I'm gonna type it
You
out.
said, I don't know why you're continuing to try to talk over.
Screaming, I'm going to
This
type it
exists.
out at you.
I'm gonna type it out!
This is a mental break.
Okay, so premise 1. I just typed out premise 1. It's gonna be premise 2.
Existence of rocks is morally permissible.
Rocks'
but
existence
he's saying
is
when it
morally
doesn't have
permissible.
moral
No,
agency,
that wasn't your
he's
definition,
saying that
you
it
guys.
doesn't have
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness.
Your definition for... No, I'm gonna explain it to you again. Your definition of
that rock
not
Can we read this
moral
other people?
is that it's
prove it to you.
lacking in morality. Your definition of not moral is to be lacking in morality. That was your definition of not moral, right? Okay.
So hold on.
And moral would be equivalent to not
Hold on, since
moral,
P1 says
right?
rock's existence is morally permissible, you just said that you just agree with me that immorality is going to be the lack of morality, so that means
No, I
that
didn't.
you will be saying...
That's your definition. I didn't agree with your definition.
Hold on. I do
can't
not
even
mean
agree
to
or disagree
say...
with the definition.
Listen, let me clarify. I do not mean to say... Chill. I do not mean to say
So you don't use your
that you chill. Oh my goodness! I do not mean to say that you actually agree with me on the definition. I'm saying you agree with me that is the definition that I'm using. That morality is something, immoral is the lack of morality. That's my definition. I'm saying you agree with me. That's my definition.
Not moral is lacking in morality. Agreed?
So the no P is gonna be. Let me copy paste.
He doesn't want to engage with anything. Look, honestly,
Now I'm literally
who's the moderator again? Is it Tron?
I'm typing it in the chat.
Tron, are you the moderator?
In the chat. How can you say that I'm not engaging when I'm typing it in the chat? You're delusional.
I'm delusional.
Yes, this is the not P.
Who's the mod?
This is
Are
not
you still
P.
there? Did you
Rock's existence is not more. This is not P.
Okay,
Tron's walking around his house making food and shit. Tron's microwaving a bowl of ramen noodles in the fucking background.
Yeah, I was making food, bro. I'm back. So he's telling you to look at the chat to see, like, not see, but like, look.
All he's asking is we wrong? That's all he's asking.
Goodness.
You're wrong. You're super wrong. You're fucking wrong as hell. You made a direct contradiction, right? You said that, look, you agreed with the following claims. They even have it on recording, right? You agreed rocks are moral. You agreed rocks are not moral. You agreed the term moral are being used the same way in both contexts. You've agreed with all of those statements, yes?
Yeah, so, and I'm still gonna agree with that because that's not a defeater, genius. Because I told you multiple times that the disagreement is not on the understanding of moral, but on the sentence. Because it depends what you mean to say when you say rocks are moral. By the way, when you say rocks are moral, you're not just saying moral. You're not saying a single word. You're composing a sentence, and the sentence has a propositional meaning.
Yeah, well, the
I'm
difference is
saying
one includes
if
the
with
word
the first
not.
proposition you mean to say that rocks lack agency, so they're not capable of like doing morality or whatever, then I agree with you. They're not moral. If, however, when you say they are moral,
did you
as
mute
in
that
their
guy? Did you
existence
mute
is
that
morally
guy?
permissible, then I agree with that.
Something.
So you're delusional.
That's so sad. So look, you think I'm delusional when I repeat it over and over again. You believe in true contradictions. Like, I'm sorry, it's over.
Yeah, so I already dismissed that conclusion. You were not able to provide an argumentation in favor of that. You were not tracking.
Why the fuck is Dr. Doofenshmirtz engaging in fucking sophistry with me?
Oh my goodness, okay.
Perry the Platypus, you have logged into VC and you have given me a formally valid argument, but I do not like the premises. Makes my feelings hurt.
Hell no.
Is that dominant going to address anything, or is it just going to be fallacious?
I love hearing you talk after that shit. Talk more. Talk more, Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Of course you're going to object to a person's premises. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Guys, you're going to reject the person's premises.
To object to.
That's all there is to object to. Are you drunk?
Yeah.
King shit.
That's valid.
Don't believe it.
to object to aside from your premises.
Well, he agreed with the premises, so he actually doesn't object to that.
I did give an objection, you're just not tracking, you just suck.
So just to be clear, both of these premises you agree. I don't know why you're talking.
Yes,
You're not gonna. It doesn't work for you. So premise
It
one
does.
is that rocks are moral. Premise two is that rocks are not moral. You agree with both premises, and you agree that the moral is being used the
No,
same way
I
in
did
both
not.
contexts.
Matter of fact, let me expose you one more time. So the proposition of the first so the first proposition that you're having is literally to say that rocks are moral, and then you use your premise two to say that rocks are not moral in the same manner and in the same respect. I already refuted this multiple times by literally accusing you of committing equivocation fallacy because I literally told you I'm using a different respect for a different manner. So that means that simultaneous affirmation and negation can be given because it's not the same respect. So therefore, what you said does not follow. The conclusion that I'm just affirming true contradiction wouldn't follow from that. You still did not address it, you just want a repetition.
I have
of this.
addressed it several times.
No, you did not. Okay, so what it was to address?
I have not
address it
invoked
again?
any definitions for any of these terms. I'm
Can
only
you address it
asking you
again?
are that I will. I can't be equivocating.
Hold on, Tron is speaking at the same time. Guys, chill.
Trying to talk.
Chill.
Mr. DeBunker, you need to
Chill.
stop talking
Both of you are
so that
speaking
Tron
at the
can
same
talk.
time. Chill.
You got chill.
Guys, come on, let's keep it cordial.
Tron.
They are moral.
Tron.
And then he said for the negation, he's just saying if you're talking about moral agency as that.
Tron, bro, we can't hear you. Your microphone is really quiet.
Tron, you need to repeat from the beginning.
Yeah, you gotta start
Tron,
over.
you gotta repeat from the start because he was over talking.
And you gotta max your mic volume the fuck out. Get packing on us.
Alright, I'll start packing. What are you trying to say? Okay, yeah, there you go. My mic was very loud, guys. Yeah, he told you that you're arguing by repetition because you're repeating yourself. He said about the contradiction in the same respect. That's false because he said if we go over the context of the distinction between the two terms, like the morality and immorality, he said he's told you that they're basically moral as in it's permissible for them to exist. It's morally permissible for them to exist. But he said if it's the case that the rocks exist, they have an inherent value, which are moral. And then he asked you about for the negation, which he thought you were talking about moral agency, which is a distinction. There's a distinction there. So he's saying that if you're talking about if it's immoral for them to have agency, moral agency, my fucking bad, then they're not going to have moral agency, and that's where it's immoral there. Like, Jesus fucking. All right, so
just to get clear here on what you're saying, he said that rocks are moral and rocks are not moral, and you're saying he's using the term moral in different ways.
Yeah, by the way, hold on. By the way, you do realize that the negation of a grammatical syntactical form of a sentence does not go to the propositional negation.
Wait. Just to be clear. No, okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, Tron,
Can you answer the question?
nigga.
My fault.
You need a loud mic because this Mr. DeBunker guy's gonna jump in and try to talk over the moderator.
Niggas keep talking.
So Tron, I want to ask you. I don't know why you're jumping in, Mr. DeBunker. Tron, I'm asking you, in those two contexts, just a quick yes or no, is he using the word moral the same way, or is he using it in a different way?
Yes, it's the same way. Yes.
Yes, it's the same way?
Yes. I said this like 10 times, you're still not tracking.
And rocks is being used in the same way, right?
Yes.
And R is being used in the same way, right?
No, you genius. No, it's not. I said this like 10 times.
So you're equivocating? Oh, that's bad for you. Did you want to
No,
say it
that's not for
again?
you because you just presupposed that I was using them
equivocating, right?
are
So you're
like identical in both cases when I told you multiple times. No, I'm not using it identically.
Yikes! So you were equivocating?
No, you're the one equivocating because you're the one who committed the fallacy of equivocating my initial meaning when I said
what does
R
it mean to
with the
equivocate?
second meaning when I said R. So you're the one committing equivocation fallacy. You're not even tracking.
Go ahead and define equivocate.
I think
for
you're
us again.
false.
I already defined equivocation fallacy. You actually define it again. I'm just going to repeat what we already established earlier. Equivocation fallacy happens whenever you have either a terminology or a sentence that is obviously composed by terminologies or by words, and basically you conflate the meaning and the context and the circumstance just because they have the same grammatical form. So for example, when you say rock exists and then you say, hold on, let me finish. When you say, for example, rock exists, one could mean to say multiple things. So rock exists does not have to express the same identical preposition, because it is a known fact, by the way, Sinthe, this is common knowledge, that prepositions can be grammatically identified in different ways. You can make a you can translate from prepositional language to grammatical language in many ways, and vice versa.
by
So when you make the
grammatical
claim
language,
rocks exist, and then
you
you make the
understand
claim
that
rocks do
propositional
not
logic has a
exist,
grammar, right?
one can also take the second form to have a different prepositional meaning than the first one. And so even though the grammatical form seems to be in negation, in reality the prepositional form is not truly negation, because the preposition is not the same thing of a declarative sentence. So you just got cooked again.
Okay, so you said that a proposition is not the same as a declarative sentence, and there's a difference between propositional language and grammatical language.
Yes.
I'm just curious, what is grammatical language versus just language?
It's just, for example, A, B,
not
C,
an
D, F,
example.
G,
I want the
and
following.
for example, if I say, hello, how are you? So for example, in English, there's a common
say for
agreement
example,
when we
I'm
say,
not
how
asking
are
for
you? I'm
example.
basically asking your state. Like, are you
Do you
doing
think
good?
you're
Are you
being asked
doing
for
bad?
examples right
But for
now?
example, it's possible that within an alien language, the sound, how are you, literally means you suck. It's possible. So the preposition how are you, according to
think
the
what I've asked
alien
for is an
language,
example?
does not have the same meaning of the English sentence, how are you?
Do you think that what I asked you for was an example?
Yeah, but my example gives an answer to your question, so regardless, it's so good.
What I've asked you for is a difference, not an example.
I gave
Give
it
me an
but
example
I
of a
literally
difference, and that would
but
count.
I denoted
But
a
giving me
difference in the
an example
distinction
of
by giving an
grammatical
example.
language would not give me an example of the difference between grammatical language and just language point blank. So what
Cynthia,
makes
you do
something-
realize that it's possible for me to give an example that also
Look,
denotes
here's
a
the
distinction.
reason why I'm harping on this, just because it's very
Cynthia,
stupid.
so that's not gonna be
Why are you talking
addressing
about?
anything at all.
Let me
I
know
just
when
said
you're done.
you
Let me know
do
when you're
realize,
done.
right, that you can have an example that somebody's giving you or a circumstance that also denotes the distinction that you were asking for.
Oh wow.
Are you done?
Can you answer to that?
I certainly could answer to it, but you haven't answered my question.
Yes,
So
I
I'm gonna
did.
go
Oh
ahead
my
and-
goodness. Okay,
Okay,
I'll give
you're
you a
not done
repetition
yet. Go
again.
ahead.
I'll
Let me
give
know
you
when
a
you're done.
repetition again. You sir.
You done? Okay, so you said there was a difference between grammatical language and just language point blank, and I'm pointing out that's kind of stupid because all language has a grammar to it. That's the whole point of this. You're not really answering my question because I think it's clicked for you that all language has a grammar to it. Propositional logic has a grammar to it. Every language has a
Yeah,
grammar.
is it the same grammar of
just speaks
English?
the rules for the language.
Hold on. I want to have fun at your expense. Now, please
They're
answer
also
this
different
question. Is the,
languages,
is the grammar of propositional language the same grammar of English?
No, just like the language.
Oh, okay. So then it does.
Oh,
You're
okay.
not attacking
Oh.
my point because my point
I
is
am.
not to
I'm
say that
pointing out to you.
propositional
You're
language
stupid.
does not have a grammar.
Your
That's
point
not my
was stupid
point. You're
because you
attacking.
thought it was the case that
Cynthia,
grammatical
you're
language
attacking
was a
Strawman. That's not what
I mean,
my
you'd be able
point
to
is.
create
My
some
point is
different
not to say that
subdivision
propositional language
between
doesn't have any
grammatical
grammar.
language.
My point is to say that the grammar of the
Is
language
propositional
English,
logic grammatical language or
cannot
not?
be directly translated
Is there
into propositional
unironically,
language.
Tron, you gotta
You're
just
gonna
do something
obtain
when you're doing
problems if you do
I don't
that.
have,
You get
I don't
too
have powers
sleepy.
to mute anybody.
You fucking loud mic.
I'm not loud
Alright,
micing
so-
anybody.
You're not loud micing. The moderator can loud mic. I'm not loud micing. You're not loud. But Tron can loud mic.
Enough, bro.
Bro, no, Sean cannot loud mic as well. I even told him to chill.
You need to calm down. He needs to be able to talk over you.
Okay, you're delusional.
This is kind of bad. And loud miking
is
moderating
definitely-
is.
This person cannot be engaged with, okay, everyone?
This is the saddest set of voters I've ever seen in my life.
You're delusional.
Every single one of
You
you,
don't know the
I'm
distinctions between
screenshotting
word and
it, and
respect.
I'm coming after you for doing this fucking terrible code.
Oh my
I
goodness.
didn't do shit. I
okay.
didn't do shit. I didn't do
Just
shit.
as friends.
Yeah, you did, bitch. Yeah, you did, bitch.
Delusional.
That was an accident. That was an accident.
There you go. Okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So look, I need you to very closely follow along here. So you said, you agreed earlier in this conversation that equivocation was when you use the same term or set of terms in different ways.
No.
No, you didn't agree on that?
No, matter of fact, there's no problem in using the same term, just in different context. You committed a blunder in giving the definition. You forgot a part. Can I tell you which part you forgot?
Yeah, which part did I forget?
Because again, we can put a recording, no interruption, saying no, I didn't. We can put a recording. You just said Axility. Were you trying to say that the definition of equivocation fallacies when you say you use the same term but with different context? You missed a part. It's when you make exactly the confusion between two terms just because they are grammatically identical, even though there's a difference in the mode and the respect. You forgot that part. We're gonna put it on the recording.
Okay, there's a difference in their mode and their respect. Was that
exactly? And the fallacy happens whenever you make hold on. And the fallacy happens whenever you make confusion between the two.
You're not
just
done?
Because hold on.
What is your
just
is
because
your goal
the
just to
grammatical
talk
form
indefinitely?
is identical.
Holy shit, are you transitioning too? Do you also identify as a woman? Is that why you talk too much?
Is that gonna be in a dominant or is that gonna address anything at all?
You're definitely not dominant. What is your definition of
you agree
mode?
it's fallacious reasoning. Okay, thank you.
You're not tracking at all. Do you know, what do you think? You genuinely, that was so sad. I don't know why you put the other story.
Man, you're
Just
getting
answer the question, genuinely.
Where are you going? I was listening to you. Go ahead, keep going. Keep going.
I asked you a question.
What was the question?
What is your definition of mode?
Oh my goodness, you don't know what modality?
I know what a modality is.
Okay,
you said the word is being used in different modes. Modality refers to different terms of possibility and impossibility, and it's necessity and non-necessity.
No.
That's modality. Yes, it is.
No.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna provide you a sword.
Can you stop? You already made another conflation fallacy. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I said, do you know what different mode means? And you're talking about modal logic.
you just said, do you know what modalities are? What is that? I just posted in the podcast that modality varieties.
No, I did not say modality. I said, do you know what different mode means? Do you know what modes are?
You did say modality. You want me to? How much you want to bet? Bet money.
Again, man. So when you say bet, I don't really bet money. We can say okay, bet as in figurative language. I don't actually bet money.
Lying indefinitely.
No, because we can put the recording.
Yeah, we can put the recording. You want to see?
Okay, let's do that.
Okay,
so let's not waste time. So let's proceed.
Okay.
Proceed. Keep going.
We have to have something on the table though, right? So if you don't want to bet money because you're probably broke or maybe you're just too young to have money. So if it's the case that you don't want to bet that, how about this? If you said modality, then will you drop out of the VC and admit you lost?
What?
What?
Wait, so do you think he said modes are modalities?
No. So basically, I told him different mode and respect.
Why are you gonna dodge that? This is so sad.
I'm explaining to Tron. Can I explain to him?
Look, every single retard who thinks this guy's even doing okay,
okay, so that's not gonna allow me to give the answer to Tron. Since Tron asked me something, I'm just trying to answer to him. Can I do that?
I asked you something and you haven't answered it once. Oh.
Yes, because technically I did. I already told you don't do bets because they're sinful.
Yeah, you don't have to do a bet. I told you an alternative.
I don't do bets at all. It doesn't matter if I'm gonna win. I don't do bets at all because that's sinful. My goodness. I
gave you an alternative to a bet. I told you you don't have to do a bet.
That's gonna be your non-sequitur that doesn't follow. Okay, cool. We don't care. I'm just gonna answer Tron's question now. Okay.
This is so sad.
Okay, so no, Sinthe was confused because I said different mode and different respect. Just to be clear, no, but jokes aside, to give clarification on this. When we say mode, when I said mode, I was not talking about modal logic. I was referring to the way things are. So, for example, a mode A is going to be different from mode B. A mode is a way in which something is. It's a way that something is. So, different mode, it means it's like it's different. It means it works in a different way, with a different approach, or whatever. Okay, it is also contextual. So I'm saying when you use a terminology in a different way, in a way such that it has different approach or different applicability, that's a different mode. Unfortunately, the guy was confused. He thought for some reason that I was talking about modal logic. I don't know why.
So your definition of what it means to use a different mode is just that you're using a different definition for the term.
For example, when you say, let me give an example.
No?
When you say, for example, the ventilator is on mode 3 versus ventilator is on mode 1 or mode 2. So basically that's just going to be referring to the speed of the ventilator. Mode 3 is going to be faster than mode 1. So mode 1 is like a different way in which the ventilator, the fan of the ventilator is moving. It's like the difference in the speed. It's a different mode of speed. You get it now?
That's their analogy.
So
I mean, my knowledge is actually because I'm not good at English, but you get it. I think you get it.
What is your definition of mode?
I just told you. You literally cannot track.
Go ahead and give it again, because I asked you about your definition. And you seem to
So you want me to repeat myself?
Yes.
Okay. So as I already said earlier multiple times, mode just means a different way a thing is.
A different way a thing is.
Yes.
So in any condition where somebody uses a different definition for a term, it would be a different way a thing is. Yes or no?
I'm sorry. Say that again. I wasn't listening.
You want me to repeat myself? Oh my god, he wants me to repeat myself.
Yes.
That's crazy. I can't believe he wants me to repeat myself.
Yes.
So, mode. Is it the case somebody is using a different mode in any instance in which they use a different definition because there's a different way that term is being used?
I don't say that makes sense.
Is it the case that anytime somebody uses a different definition for one term versus another context where they have a different definition for that term, is it the case they are using that term in different ways?
Oh, so you asked me if you use the word bibu ba 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 in a different way because there's a different context, even though technically speaking the letters are still going to be bibu ba ba ba, then it's a different mode? Yes. If that's what you're asking, yes.
Okay, so in any context where somebody uses a word with a different definition, they'd be using a different mode.
Yes.
Okay, so that was a redundancy in your definition?
What do you mean?
So your definition of what it means to be an equivocation includes a redundancy.
Yes, so no, alright, so that doesn't answer what I asked you. I asked you, what do you mean? You just repeated redundancy. I'm asking you, what do you mean by redundancy?
I mean that you have the same condition multiple times in your definition.
That doesn't even make sense. What I said is that something is like a different mode whenever it is different.
Okay, so look.
So, and I give you the, hold on. I give you the example multiple times. My ventilator, listen, my ventilator, chill. My ventilator has multiple modes.
Go ahead.
It has
your ventilator definitely does.
Mode 1,
you got a ventilator?
Mode 2, and Mode 3. So Mode 0 means that the ventilator is in a way such that it is off. It's turned off. It doesn't work. The fan does not spin around. Mode 1 is a certain level speed. Mode 2 is going to be faster. Mode 3 is going to be faster. So basically, a different mode is a different way the thing works. It's a different way by which the subject in question is working on.
Okay, so now that I understand what you're using your
I literally said this from the beginning, but okay.
If it's the case that somebody's using the term with different modes, then it's not equivocation. Agreed?
No.
No?
No, because it is still possible to conceive of a case where somebody's using the same terminology and it's equivocating the two modes, even though it's using the same terminology, exactly because it's appealing to the identity that you see in the grammar, because it's like the same letters or the same word or the same sound and so on and so forth. So no, I disagree with what you just said.
Do you remember the definition you gave for equivocation?
Yes, equivocation. Hold on. I did not give a definition for equivocation in general. I gave a definition for equivocation in the context of equivocation fallacy. I told you what equivocation fallacy is.
Pathetic.
You want me to repeat myself?
So, your definition for equivocation fallacy is one such that if somebody is using different modes, it wouldn't be equivocation by your definition. Agreed?
No, you suck. Oh my goodness. You cannot so no. No. You missed. By the way, you committed the same initial mistake. Because remember when I told you that you missed on the part? I'm gonna say it one more time. You missed the part where you say that you make the confusion or the conflation. Definition of equivocation fallacy is that just because of the identity or the similarity of the sound, of the terminology and the composition of the letters of a word, you confuse. It is a necessary condition that you make the confusion and the conflation between the two modes or the two possible definitions of the terminology, just because by identity of the grammar it is the same word. Again, the terminology dog in English refer to an animal. Maybe according to an alien language, the letters in the sound dog actually refer to a spaceship that is like about to destroy a planet. If you were to say Axility, do you agree that dogs exist? And you're referring to animals on the planet, and I say yes, and then you conclude, oh, so then you believe that there's a spaceship that's gonna destroy the planet. That's equivocation fallacy.
So, equivocation fallacy is when, just because of the identity or similarity of the sound of the terminology, you confuse and conflate the two modes or possible definitions of the terminology. That's what you said?
Basically, yeah, more or less.
Not basically, it's what you said. So,
no,
that's your definition.
Because I did not just say for similarity.
Just to be clear,
because it was not just similarity, even if it's identical.
Okay, you want to keep talking? Go ahead. Let me know when you're done.
More or less.
You done?
What's up?
After I gave the clarification, yeah.
No.
Okay, don't interrupt again, right? Listen, because you're about to learn something. I'll teach you.
Okay,
so,
let's see.
If it's Daddy, just I got you. So, if somebody is invoking the equivocation fallacy, one of the conditions is that they are both confusing and conflating the two modes or possible definitions of the terminology, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what you did.
It is necessary to both confuse and conflate the two definitions, agreed?
Yeah, you need to have conflation.
Okay, so if somebody was invoking different definitions, but they weren't confused, they were just being dishonest, that wouldn't be equivocation?
Not really, because confusion is not meant to be taken as confusion that you have as personal confusion in your mind. Confusion is going to be taken as conflation of the terminology, meaning it's in the usage of the terminology, which means it's not dependent on the confusion on the mind.
So actually
it's literally dependent on the conflation of the terminology. So your tactic is very miserable. You're not able to
So by confuse, you just meant conflate? By confuse, you just meant conflate?
What?
By confuse, you just meant conflate?
I just said conflation multiple times. Matter of fact, when you were trying to
yes
my
or
definition,
no?
you also included conflation as well.
I did. Yeah, I included it because you said both.
Okay, but it's the
It would
same.
be really strange
Genius,
to me
it's the same.
if somebody
Genius.
said,
Genius.
just because of the identity or similarity of the sounds of the terminology, you conflate or conflate
it's the same.
the two modes.
And you repeat one
Also,
more
you said
time, it's the
and.
same.
You conflate and conflate. That's what you meant to say?
Yes, conflate.
You conflate and conflate the two modes or possible definitions of the terminology?
Yes.
Okay, and what does it mean to conflate?
It literally means that you take something and you mistake it, you misjudge it to be something else, just because that something else also had the initial appearance of it. So for example, if you have a phone, and let's say it's a Samsung Galaxy, it's Samsung Galaxy S21, okay? And then you have another Samsung Galaxy, because of the initial appearance of the two Samsung Galaxies, because both of them are going to be a Samsung Galaxy, you're going to make a confusion, because maybe one of them is not Samsung Galaxy S21, maybe it's like S22. So they have similarities, so because of that dissimilarity, you make a misjudgment, you misjudge them to be identical when they're not.
Okay. I know you really want a Samsung Galaxy, maybe Sinthe will get you one, but I want to get clarification here. To misjudge
how do you call it?
What?
How do you call
What
it?
does it mean to misjudge?
No, real quick, what do you call it? What do you call it?
What do I call what?
You said Samsung Galaxy, is there a problem with me saying Samsung Galaxy?
You gotta log out, bro. What does misjudge mean?
I call it Sinthe engaging me on transgenderism. That's what I call it.
I'll do you next.
Okay.
So just to be clear, what does it mean to
There's no
misjudge?
problem with me saying Samsung Galaxy, okay.
Samsung Galaxy. What does it mean to
Yes.
misjudge? This man's upset.
That you do encourage
Samsung
judgment.
Galaxy. He really
encourage
wants
judgment.
one. Bro, how much do they cost in your country? How much do they cost in your country?
What?
Night clock is settled for.
Don't worry about it. What does misjudge mean?
Incorrect judgment.
Incur a judgment?
Incorrect judgment.
Oh, incorrect judgment.
Yes.
And a judgment is what?
It's an affirmation of something to be the case or not the case after the act of apprehension.
Alright.
Are you not gonna ask me what is apprehension?
No.
So look, since apparently you're not able to give an actual defeat or rebuttal,
Why can I go ahead and talk to you?
Me on the definition.
Can I talk to you right now? Or you're gonna interrupt
probably like gonna lead into
bro, you gotta just do that.
Stop it! So just actually give an actual.
You gotta do a little bit of
my argument.
If you want to moderate, you gotta moderate.
Enough. I'm angry. Axility, shut the fuck up.
John, you're a fucking idiot.
Thank you. So Axility, right? You said that a judgment is an affirmation of something to be the case. So
yeah, after the act of apprehension, I don't know what you're missing.
If you lie about someone, have you
enough? I told you to stop it already. I told you to stop it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
If you lie about someone, have you misjudged?
Answer his questions and stop talking
over it. What do you mean?
I'm using the terms.
If you lie about it and you misjudge, I don't know what that means.
Just whatever Oxford Languages says.
Man, you don't make sense when you speak.
What part of that was hard to understand?
Man, none of what you said makes sense.
I'm asking you, if you lie about somebody, does that mean that you've necessarily misjudged them?
I don't even know what that means. So when you say you lie about somebody, what does it mean for you to lie about somebody? I'm not understanding what you mean. What do you mean?
You're a fucking retard.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not going to be an answer to my question. I'm going to ask you one more time. What do you mean when you say that?
You're too stupid.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So then I don't have to answer any question of yours. Nobody now give a rebuttal? Because all this time, by the way, you were just questioning my definition, and I give you the definitions without going circular, not even a single time. All of this, by the way, you still did not give any single rebuttal to my argumentation as to why you literally equivocation fallacy when you were trying to
I'll give you an example.
quote-unquote still, man, since you completely strumming my argumentation. So can you not give a rebuttal?
Look, I'm gonna help you out. I'm not really qualified to teach, but no, I'm gonna help. I said I am gonna help you out. I'm telling you. So look, I'm gonna give you an example and just listen to it. I'm not really qualified to teach special ed, but I'll try my best.
Okay.
So, Axility. If somebody were to point at you and say that guy is 2 inches tall, they would be lying about you, right?
Well, that depends. Do they have the intention of saying the opposite of what they know to be true? Because I define lying as that.
Yeah, they know it to be false. Yeah.
So they know that it's false, and yet they say it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is a lie. And you're asking what?
Yeah, if you lie about somebody, have you misjudged them?
No, because the judgment is something, it's an internal process that you do within your mind. So if you consciously, is that you say in English?
You fucked up. Keep going.
No. I literally, this is literally how I say consciously. Is that how you say it? If you consciously know something.
So to misjudge somebody is to have an incorrect
No, oh my goodness, I just asked you the question, it's in English, I'm not even trying to offensive or anything.
Really in English.
I said, when you say somebody's doing something consciously, is that how you say it, consciously?
You're close enough. You're close enough.
Okay, look, alright, so regardless, so you have consciousness, okay, so I said, if you have consciousness of that, and you had the apprehension action, and you judge them to be in a way, and yet you declare the opposite, then that is a lie, but you did not misjudge, because internal to your mind, you literally did the judgment by having apprehension of the subject, and then affirmation of the subject, and just because so you declare the opposite, so that's not going to be, so lying does not mean misjudging.
Perfect. So you actually have to have an incorrect belief to have a misjudgment, correct?
So basically you're asking me whether or not if you misjudge something to be the case, then it means you're incorrect about it?
You have to be incorrect according to you, right?
Yes. Like if you misjudge it, then it means that basically you were wrong. Like your belief is false.
And so to conflate something would mean to take something and misjudge it to be something else. That was your definition,
No, conflation is not about misjudging.
Really?
Yeah, because conflation is about the misunderstanding that you have. So you can conceive of a case where you don't do misjudge.
Which is a misjudgment.
Misjudgment, yeah. You can have a case where you do make, where you do not make misjudgment, and yet there's going to be conflation. You can also have a case where you do have misjudgment, and then you do have you do make the conflation. So, both are possible.
So, you said that conflation does not have to do with misjudgment, correct?
Not necessarily.
Okay. And was the definition of conflate that you gave initially, was it to take something and mistake or misjudge it to be something else?
Yes, it was.
Oh, as a matter of fact, it was mistake and misjudge it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so whether or not misjudgment is a necessary condition. Yes, it is a necessary condition.
So then conflation does have to do with misjudgment, right?
I never denied that.
You did. You said it has nothing to do with misjudgment. Yeah, you literally denied it directly.
What? No! Oh my goodness, no! I said that you can consider the situation where even though there's no misjudgment, you can still have conflation. That's what I said.
You said that conflation has nothing to do with misjudgment.
No. Okay, that's gonna be again strong man.
Is there anybody stupid enough to forget this?
We can't appeal to the recording. Let's get it.
This is the craziest element.
Yeah, it is the craziest thing that you lie and make shit up that people don't say.
Alright, let's put look, you don't want to do bets.
I didn't say it has nothing to do with that. I literally said you can conceive of a case.
Yeah, I think he just said it's not necessary.
Yeah.
You said it has nothing to do with it.
And by the way, hold on. Let me clarify though, because when I said it's not necessary, I was not saying that it is not a necessary condition. That's not what I was saying. I was saying it's possible for you not to have the misjudgment. So you don't have to have the misjudgment in order for a conflation to happen. You don't have to do that because somebody else can do.
You don't?
Just to clarify.
You don't. In order to conflate something, do you have to misjudge it?
Okay, when you say you mean the general you, the grammar, or you mean me, specifically Mr. Debunker?
Anybody who ever conflates something, they would have to be misjudged.
So if you're talking about anybody, as I then consistently said for the past 10 minutes, for 10 times straight, I literally said it is a necessary condition. As you even asked me earlier, you said mistake and conflate, and I said yes, it is a necessary condition that you need to have the misjudgment.
And to equivocate, a necessary condition would be that you're conflating, right?
Say that again.
And a necessary condition of conflating, a necessary condition of the equivocation is that you are conflating, correct?
Yeah, you're gonna say that again, because you got confused. You're gonna say that again.
Listen closely. Okay. A necessary condition of you invoking an equivocation fallacy would be that you're conflating something, right?
Bro, what the fuck? It's that you did it, buddy. Oh my goodness, it's the misjudgment. The misjudgment is a necessary condition. Hold on.
Of an equivocation fallacy, a necessary condition is
everybody
to
can
conflate.
testify. Sinthe, you just asked me that a necessary condition of the equivocation fallacy is that you do the equivocation, since equivocation is synonym with conflation.
Conflation.
Literally. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the necessary condition of misjudgment. You did not say misjudgment 5 seconds ago. You just used a synonym of equivocation because you said conflation.
Very confused.
No, you're the one who's confused. We're talking about misjudgment.
Here, look, can I just remind you what happened? So your definition of the equivocation fallacy, I'm going to remind you because you're really fucked now.
I just did.
So your definition of the equivocation fallacy was just because of the identity or similarity of the sound of the terminology, you confuse and conflate the two modes or possible definitions of the terminology.
It's the same. It's the same.
I know you think it's the same. I don't know why you're spazzing out right now. I'm not done. Listen.
They're the same.
So that was your definition of equivocation fallacy. One necessary condition to conflate something would be to misjudge it, right?
Yeah, but it depends on how you misjudge it. You need to misjudge it in a way. I already told you the mode. You need to misjudge it in a way such that because of the similarity or because of an identical trait that may
That's
that they may
equivocation
have.
fallacy, not conflation.
Can I finish?
You're confused.
So as we're trying to say, it is a misjudgment that you do because of the reason that they share some trait or they share some similarity, and so because of that similarity, you're committing the misjudgment. And you take them, and the misjudgment has as an effect. Hold on. And the misjudgment has as an effect that you now take them to be identical.
Okay. So you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to walk through it. So your definition of equivocation fallacy was just because of the identity or similarity of the sound of the terminology, you confuse and conflate the two modes or possible definition of the terminology. Your definition of conflate means that misjudging it is a necessary condition. Both of those are true. And equivocation fallacy, therefore, a necessary condition is to misjudge it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, can somebody ever invoke an equivocation fallacy dishonestly while knowing what they're saying is false? Can they ever lie and invoke an equivocation fallacy?
Yeah, so basically it is possible that you just take the terminologies, and by taking the terminologies, you basically conflate them.
You couldn't conflate them unless you're misjudging them.
What? Say that again?
How can you conflate them if you're not misjudging them?
Because the conflation does not have to be because of a misjudgment, as I already told you.
Oh, so you can conflate something without misjudging it?
As I literally said earlier, it's not logically necessary.
It's not logically necessary?
You're just waking up. Man, this is crazy.
Okay, so how about this? You let me know. You let me know what you want to do. You let me know what you want to do here. So you can choose. Either we can conclude, or if you have more arguments, you let me know.
Buddy, I'm waiting for you to give a rebuttal, because with all of this, you still did not address my point. Like, with all of this asking questions about the definitions, I did not contradict myself a single time.
You've done it
I gave you the context every single time. You still not give me a rebuttal as to why you committed equivocation fallacy.
Is misjudging a necessary condition for conflating?
Again, yes.
Again, yes?
Yes, see, you keep not making, you keep confusing. Hold on, let me say your confusion for the millionth time. Your confusion is literally not understanding the difference between necessary condition and something that is logically necessary. Just because it is a necessary condition in these circumstances or in another circumstance, it doesn't mean that it's not logically necessary that in all possible circumstances you can have conflation by having misjudgment. You're slow, I said this multiple times. And for the millionth time, you were not able to address this. This is embarrassing.
Okay. So,
can you? No. Address what I just said. No. Address what I just said. Because you said do not address it. Address it.
What question do you have for me?
I did not ask a question. I gave you an argumentation. You're not even tracking.
So I'm gonna go ahead.
I just give you argumentation. Can you address the argumentation?
Your definition of conflation.
No, I just look. Sinthe, we're not gonna continue this unless you address the argumentation.
You didn't give an argument.
Yes, I did.
Okay, what are the premises and conclusions about argument?
So you want me to repeat myself? Okay, so I'm gonna repeat myself. Then I'm not gonna formalize this before pre-fire. I'm just gonna repeat myself. I literally said earlier you committed a mistake because for some reason you keep conflating. You see, you're the one doing this in this case. You keep confusing on necessary condition and something that is modally necessary. They're actually different. There's a distinction between the two. Just because there may be a circumstance where it is a necessary condition, it doesn't mean that it's logically impossible for you to conceive of a way in which the word could be, and you can have the conflation without having the necessary condition.
You know, it would mean that actually.
In fact, for example, somebody may make a confusion on purpose. So, for example, it could say, oh, you know, it works like this, and then he takes a second object and says, oh, you know, it also works identical because they share this similarity. Well, you know that that is not true. You can make conflation in that sense, or you make conflation in the sense that you have misjudgment, and so because of the misjudgment, you end up as an effect having the basically the identity between the two objects just because they share some similarity or some trait. Can you address this?
Easily. I've done it several times, you just didn't realize it.
No, you did not.
Your definition of conflate is to take something and misjudge it to be something else. And so misjudging something
In this case,
is a necessary condition of conflating it. Yes or no? Yes or no?
I'm gonna top it out. I'm gonna top it out because you're not tracking. I'm
Yes
gonna
or
top it out. You did not attack anything I said.
Yes or no?
We can
Yes or no?
on this point.
Yes or no?
You did not
Yes or no?
I'm just gonna
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
He said he's typing
Your
fast,
ass.
and he wants to
Motherfucker, I'm not gonna move to text today with you, pussy ass bitch. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna sit here. I'm done stomping you the fuck out. You've been shit.
Yeah, that is crazy, but you're getting obliterated. By the way, nobody agrees that you're winning the size of goose, and yeah, you were not able to address anything that I said until you just argued.
Even in your own VC, even in your own VC, your entire audience says you got shit canned. I don't know why you walk into the Thunderdome and come step up to me and tell me in this VC that you did a contract.
Is you done? Is you
That
done?
was an easy W. Your ass.
Yeah, you trash. You just lost badly.
Also, why Talixia? I'm out to get you now, you dumbass bitch.
You're a delusion.
Alright, what you said you wanted to conclude, right? Give your closing statement.
Inflation equal confusion fusion by appealing to a shared trait.
I'm gonna type this out now.
Conflation equal confusion by appealing to a shared trait. Can
Go after the
be
pause, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Hella shit went unaddressed, bro.
either intentional or unintentional. Intentional. If it is unintentional, then it is. If it is unintentional, then it is because of a misjudgment. Hence, the misjudgment is a necessary condition for the unintentional conflation, which, since the product is not able to track, which does not mean it is logically necessary that all conflations, including intentional ones, need to appeal to the cause of a misjudgment. Now, I topped it out because I repeated this 10 times. We can put the recording again. I literally said this 10 times. For the 10th time, you did not address any of this. You just asked me to repeat myself. You just answer yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. You suck. Can you address this?
You done?
I'm gonna ping you. I'm gonna ping you. Address this.
Is that you done with your closing?
Address this. I'm gonna wait for you.
What? You said you were gonna conclude, stupid.
You said
Are you slow, nigga? Just address it. Oh my goodness.
God. So
I didn't say let's conclude. I said we can conclude. You're slow.
Shared trait. You have now changed your definition. Your initial definition.
I never changed my definition. We can put the recording yourself.
You then said
oh my
confusion
goodness.
can be either
Go back to the
intentional or
recording.
unintentional. However, you actually said the opposite earlier on in this conversation.
Yeah, that's a lie. We're gonna put the
Yeah, you
recording
did say
yourself.
it's on recording. So
Yeah, on
you said
recording that you're lying.
specifically that in order to conflate, you said it has to be the case that you've misjudged something.
Because I'm talking about the unintentional conflation, genius. I clarified this 10 times, and for the 10 times you were not tracking.
And then you said on top of this that equivocation fallacies are something that you can do dishonestly. You can lie about it. It can be the case that you're doing equivocation
Yeah, no, I
fallacy.
already addressed all of that. It's just gonna be argument about repetition fallacy.
So
Yes,
all
sir.
you've done is repeat yourself. So if you want to continue to talk over and say I'm not addressing you, I've just addressed every single point there. You might not like the way I've
No, you
addressed
do not address any
but
point. By the way, you argue about repetition. You do not address anything that is on the facts.
So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your conclusion this time. Conclude, and then I'll give my conclusion.
I already did give the conclusion. I was just waiting for you to address it. But since you don't want to address it at this point, I'm just gonna wait for you to give your conclusion, which does not address anything. So go ahead and give something that does not address anything. Go ahead.
You've concluded?
That was so rhetorical.
Go ahead.
Just yes or no, have you concluded?
See, that's it. You're never
said
gonna do
yes and no,
something
Tom.
unless somebody answers to your question. Yeah, you never answer other
Jesus
people's
Christ.
question. Just go ahead, man. Just give your conclusion. I'm not gonna answer.
If you're just not gonna answer any of the questions,
I'm not
that you
gonna.
ever
Yeah. I don't care what you do. I'm
continue
not
to
gonna
talk
answer.
over.
You're a
What's
waste of
gonna happen
time.
right now is I'm gonna go ahead and
You're
do
a
my
waste of
conclusion.
time.
I'm
not
gonna go ahead
answer.
and
Just give your
You want me to
conclusion. I
conclude
don't
or
care
not?
what you do.
Don't talk.
I don't care what you do.
Just don't talk.
I don't care what you do.
Look,
Ladies,
you can't keep
relax.
bitching and whining about the idea that I'm like not answering your question. When every single question you've asked so far has been answered directly, and every
No, it
single
has
time
not.
it's been
Matter of fact, it has been multiple times that you were not checking what I was saying. That's why you were not able either to answer my questions or to correctly object to my objections. You're not able to be counter rebuttals.
Why is this guy talking?
You matter of fact, you did not address literally the text.
You asked to conclude.
Okay,
If you want to have a conclusion that does not address anything, I'm fine with you doing that. I don't care what or not you do. I don't care, so that's why I'm not gonna answer, because I don't care. So you do what you want to do, man. It's okay. You're a grown man, not a grown female, by the way. You're a grown man, not a grown woman.
Okay, you're nothing. You're a child. Pipe.
Yeah, I'm a child. Yeah, I'm proud of you. So you're delusional. So I'm gonna ask you one more time.
Listen.
I don't care. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, just stop, because I don't care. Just keep doing that.
He's concluding free. I mean, not free. Axility. He's concluding. Nigga.
Okay. Give your conclusion. That's it.
This guy's a retard. Free's got at least 10 IQ points on him, at least, and even that's rude to say. So, here's the conclusion. Your definition of conflation was to take something and misjudge it to be something else. You even agreed that misjudging implies the correct belief.
Let's see.
And now you want to talk again. Why is this guy talking again? Why is this guy talking again? Why is this guy talking again? Why are you talking? Why are you talking? Why are you talking? Why are you talking?
Hold on.
Why are you talking?
All the people voting.
Why are you talking right now? Why are you talking right now? Why are you talking? Why are you talking? Why are you talking?
Let me expose you real quick.
Why are you talking right now? Several of these people I've never met before.
Look at the screenshot.
I don't think I've ever met Kino before now. I don't think I've ever met Aristotle before now. I don't.
Okay, so right, I give you multiple warnings since I told you not to do that, and you keep doing that. I'm gonna get you muted.
But listen, bro. A lot of the people voting, no, a lot of the people voting on both sides are ass. No one's worried about that. Let him conclude, bro.
Okay, ping me, Sinthe, when you turn it off. I'm gonna mute you. Ping me when you turn it off.
Like, okay, turn it off. And
I'm waiting for him to ping me to say that he turned it off.
And then my boyfriend sent the.
Damn, what a bitch. What a bitch. What an absolute bitch.
What an absolute bitch. Unmute him. Unmute Sinthe so he can conclude.
Let's see.
Unmute Sinthe.
There you go.
Okay.
That was pathetic.
Oh my god.
I got you, little bro.
Turn it off. See? I'm not gonna mute you unless you turn it off.
Hey, unmute Sinthe, bitch ass nigga. Unmute Sinthe.
Yes, Sinthe, you have to turn it off. Auxiliary has autism.
Hey, Juniper, can you shut the fuck up? You're a biased goon. You were not even there. I don't know why your bias is just voting for him randomly. You suck. You're retarded. Matter of fact, let me ban this biased faggot.
Let the trans nigga come in here. Let all the trans.
No. I'm gonna ban this fucking faggot.
I know who Trini is. I know who Scepter Programmer is. I know who Trey is. I know who Sith is. I don't know who the fuck you are. I know who the Apollo
Ain't
is.
nobody cares, bro. Ain't nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Why did Sinthe sneak in that last point?
What happened? Man, why are you not talking anymore? What happened? We don't care, Aristotle, you suck. So,
I care.
can we now wait for Sinthe to give his conclusion? Did it leave?
I care.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. He should have just addressed the last point. Now I don't.
He did not address shit.
Yeah, I was supposed to debate Sinthe, man. Where is he?
I was supposed to debate Sinthe, man. Where is he? You're none.
None.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
That is not me, nigga. That is not
fucking
me.
bum, man. You're bad, though. Rush all fucking bad.
Bro, Randall, you sound like none.
Okay,
Yo,
now
guys,
guys, chill. Now let's do something. Since you got biased retards voting for somebody they don't even know his argument or whatever. Let's go one by one. Is there anybody here? Anybody? And you gotta speak. Don't text like a retard. Speak. Is there anybody here who thinks Sinthe won and why? We're gonna go one by one.
Oh shit.
We're gonna go one by one.
Yeah, I think he won, nigga. Now what?
Okay, Prince.
So, you know, like,
Shut the fuck up, Prince.
So, man.
Shut the fuck up.
You know, contingency known as Hajun.
Bro, Hajun is ass. He's bully his ass.
Hajun don't know shit, bro. His vote doesn't count. He doesn't know shit.
I'm saying. Him and his teacher suck. I don't care about Hajun, nigga.
Okay, so Moxie does.
You fucking faggot.
No, I want somebody. Who won?
Hajun.
And if you believe Sinthe won,
why are you talking, Hajun? You sound retarded.
Turn it off, Kel. Turn it off. Thank you.
I don't even know. I don't even think Haju knows the first points discussed.
He doesn't, bro. He's retarded, nigga. Kel beat on the teacher 3 fucking times. I'm surprised he's not embarrassed by being in the calm.
Hold on. Who's saying that?
Haju thinks Synth won, bro. Haju.
Hajun, you're so delusional. I'm gonna disown you.
Yeah,
Okay, can you tell me how Sinthe won? Just tell me.
Because I thought so.
Okay, you're a troll.
Troll, yeah, she don't listen to me.
Now I'm gonna ask one more time. Is there anybody who genuinely believes Sinthe won, and can you please explain why?
Bro, nobody thinks you won, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Nobody will be able to explain it either, bro. The only nigga who was stacking up
Can anybody speak up? Mic up?
I was not typing down the points.
I'm still
How come?
I'm not
okay,
gonna lie.
now let's go.
I'm not gonna lie. This nigga Sinthe was trying to do the reducto like. He loves this. He's a reducto spammer. He likes doing the reductos. He did it.
He tried to have me contradict myself multiple times by his writing. For example, he said, so then if you're not committing the conflation because of mistake, but because you're intentionally doing so, that's not going to be counted as a equivocation fallacy. As a way to say that he did not commit the fallacy, right? That's exactly what he was trying to do. But even if we were to grant that, he cooked himself, because in his own admission of that definition, he just said that it doesn't mean. I'm sorry, no. He just said that then he committed the intentional mistake.
For the first point about the P and not P shit, I don't know why like he kept trying to implement that reducto, like even after the clarification, because we specifically told him that it's not like exactly a P and not P in the radical sense that he was trying to talk about. But when you're talking about the rock, all you're saying that it's immoral, as in it doesn't have moral agency. And when you say it's moral, you're saying that it's morally permissible for the fucking rock to exist, not a direct P and not P. So I was kind of confused about that point.
Let me clarify better. Point is, Sinthe believes in the concept of amorality, which is a neutral state. It's not immoral, it's not moral. It's not even understood by terms of morality. I told him I disagree with that notion. I think that the way things are, their nature and their existence is either moral or immoral. Immoral just means that it's morally permissible, or it's like it's good that they are. That's it. Then he asked the question, does a rock have morality, as in, is it a moral agent? That's a different sense of the question. It said no. So he was not able to address that. He sucks.
But we don't care about your time debate, bro. You lost that shit, Sean. You ass.
God didn't lose that shitty ass. Watch your mouth.
My bad, baby.
Don't make me bring
now.
Don't make me
Since nobody had.
Bro, I already debated on the last time nigga said
Prince. I apologize, bro. Let me speak real quick. I apologize. I'm sorry, Prince. Princey faggot. I'm sorry, man. My little princess.
Yeah.
Now, since apparently nobody was able to raise his hand, mic up, and explain why Sinthe won, let's ask people who personally think that I won.
I can't spell bitch.
Nobody.
Okay.
Yeah, there was multiple. Wait, yeah, there was just multiple points that he just didn't address.
Go ahead.
Me and Axility gon' fuck. Axility gon' fuck the knowledge into me. Oh my god, Axility.
Axility T1.
No.
Oh shit, Prince. Guess what?
That was a pretty
Axility negative tier 1, nigga.
Oh,
that was a pretty good.
And Axility, my tier 0 demon. Please answer.
Okay, so Prince, since now it was biased for you, now you're gonna be but no, I'm joking.
Wow. Yeah.
No, but honestly, bro, I wanna know because I know for a fact most of you were not tracking. I'm not gonna capture it.
I was not tracking. You're right, man.
I stopped tracking later on, but I tracked the first points.
Don't worry, I got the back.
Okay, so on the first points, but I want you to be honest. No bias, no friendship, no nothing. Honestly, for the first points that you were able to track, insofar as you were able to track, what do you think won that?
I think he won. Like it was kind of bad. Like his reducto that he was trying to implement, like was not working. I'll even talk to him about it.
Okay. Anybody else who was tracking?
All he did was just repeat himself. He just committed the argument by repetition. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was kind of bad.
Yeah.
So Kel, be honest. Don't be gay. Kel, what parts were you tracking? What parts were you tracking?
The first part. I only tracked the first part because I went to go sweep the house.
Explain the first part.
Your honest opinion on it. Honest opinion.
Okay, yeah, my honest opinion is you won, especially when he was trying to give the reductio, like John said. But the point is, when you gave the contradiction, you said a contradiction will have to be something that's going to be in this simultaneously in the same sense and in the same respect.
Like true and false.
Yeah, what you were giving wasn't in the same sense and in the same respect. It wasn't going to actually be a contradiction.
Yeah, because you said you just take it to be that when he's saying immoral, he's talking about like not having moral agency.
Hey, can you stop calling her a he?
Permissible for the Rock to exist.
It's a he.
He, him,
It's
ha,
a he.
ha,
He.
What are you doing?
Please stop. Can you
What
please
the fuck
stop
are
being
you doing?
Can you please stop being disrespectful to my trainees, please? Stop.
No, shut up.
And then you guys moved on from that point. He tried to give like another reducto after he just dropped that
God.
rank. So
But
I
I'm
don't
tryna-
see.
Yeah.
Like-
So when he made the equivocation fallacy, he was so lost in the soul, so he kept asking questions about the definition, and he literally twisted it multiple
He
times.
turned it like he turned that shit into a Q&A. Like
I'm trying to fuck this guy named Puppy Coco. Puppy Coco. Coco.delta she/her they/them. I'm trying to fuck that, bro. Holy shit, I'm trying to fuck.
faggot.
Yo, you said you would date Quirk. I don't want to hear it.
Well, Cork is like, how do I say this? Cork is the love of my life, and Sinthe is my husband. Okay.
Yo,
Make me talk. Whoa. That's false, man. That's false, man. Cork is mine.
Yo, wait, you're an NPC.
Sinthe is my husband, and Moxie is my
Look at your
girlfriend.
profile pic, Prince. Look at your PFP.
Nigga, yeah, nigga. I'm a
Bro, that
monster.
nigga
I'm a
Sin was
monster.
pissing me off, bro. I ain't even say shit to this nigga. He just pissed me off too. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
No,
He just goes with the dominant. By the way, he admitted that he was doing the dominant, and it's just like he's just basing himself on the fact that I stutter and that I don't get like the pronunciation of the terminologies correctly, which I apologize for. That's it.
Coco, add me.
Substance-wise, he didn't say anything.
Puppy.
Yeah. So he was just trying to be rhetorical. I don't know why.
Yeah. And he failed.
Puppy Coco.
I told him to rate those words.
We back up that rhetorical point that he was trying to get.
The rhetorical points count.
The Puppy Coco, add me.
Rhetorical points.
How do I get my own room, bro? I think I deserve.
But
my own room.
you. Okay,
Is my mic on? Let me turn
Here's
it
what
off.
you do. You shut the
And
fuck
don't turn
up.
it on. Don't turn
That's
it
your
on.
first step. You shut the fuck up. Okay, John? The first step. The
What the
next
fuck?
step.
Who are you feeling like? You gay faggot? You bisexual
Turn
bitch?
it on just to say you gay faggot to this nigga real quick.
Sorry. Outlawed Mike John. He knows I'm louder than him.
Shut the yeah. Shut your gay ass up, nigga.
I won't drown you.
Don't lie, you're
Put
low
that on
as
Gab's
shit.
live.
Because I'm on my phone right now. On PC.
No, I don't.
We're just not cut out to be friends. No, Wahoo's not friends with Sinthe anymore over a debate. No.
Bro, it's because Wahoo was Dicky and fucking Sinthe while they were. They were Dicky and Sinthe while we debated. That nigga said that. That nigga Wahoo said it. We're gonna be moving Sinthe down after this one.
Yeah, Trump.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, Prince.
Hey, Pucky.